So, Aufnahme gestartet. So. Dann wollen wir doch mal starten. Ich schmeiß mich weg. Wir starten jetzt, okay? So, ich beiß noch einmal ins Brot. Alex East, vielen, vielen Dank für deinen Follow und herzlich willkommen. Ja, das Brot ist echt trocken. Naja. Ich finde es gut, dass wir über so wichtige Themen reden. Genau. Okay, keine Punkte mehr einlösen. Was? Warum keine Punkte mehr einlösen? Aber nun gut. Wir starten. So. Ich weiß gar nicht mehr, was zuletzt passiert ist, weil das so lange her ist. Naja, wir werden es gleich herausfinden, oder? Okay. When I returned to the margin later that night, my hands are scratched and I think I might have bruises on my arms. Okay. Warum? Oh, ich bin nicht im Spiel. Hoppala. So. Claude was not joking when he said he would not go easy on me. Ah, stimmt. Die haben trainiert. Oh mein Gott, du sagtest gerade noch einmal abbeißen und dann dieses Katzengeräusch. Ich dachte kurz, du beißt so ab. Soll ich so abbeißen? Nein, das kann ich gar nicht. Dafür bin ich viel zu gierig nach Essen, wenn ich mal esse. But he did compliment me more than once. Ja, weil Rambazamba hier. Keine Punkte mehr einlösen, damit ich keine Party mehr einlöse. Oh, vielleicht ist das tatsächlich auch gut, dass ich ein paar Kanalbelohnungen ausstelle. Ups, das war falsch. Wie mache ich das denn nochmal? Einfach damit das Spiel nicht beeinflusst wird. Ne? Zum Beispiel die Party mache ich aus. Und das war's eigentlich. Ich muss nur die Party ausmachen. So. Jetzt bin ich wieder da. So. Okay. Oh. Jenka, I've hit you quite a few times and you haven't uttered a single complaint. Impressive. Er fühlt sich an, als würde er mich komplimentieren. Okay. Ja, als würde er mir Komplimente machen. Wenn ich so den Namen vorlese, aber okay. Crying is for the weak. Nicht unbedingt. Stimme ich nicht zu. Though everyone should be sleeping, I noticed that the light is still on at the tavern. I see Julian and Garland up at a at a table, speaking with each other and laughing. Oh, bei denen läuft das richtig. If Claude had come back with me, he would be happy to see this. You two are still up? They are not even surprised when they turn to face me. Das fühlt sich so an, als würde ich ein paar gerade bei etwas stören. Ich weiß nicht wieso. Die beiden sind einfach süß. Good days like this are even better when stretched. I haven't been off duty in a long time. Und Joko, guten Morgen, wie geht's dir? Frohes Neues, wie bist du reingerutscht? Did you both have a good time tonight? It was great. Gala knows these little places in the town that I've never even heard of before. I notice that Julian is more energetic than usual. Her smile a little wider than normal. I wonder if she's drunk. Nee, die ist happy, Leute. Die sind happy miteinander. I'm going to get another drink. Oh, another drink? Vielleicht ist er doch ein bisschen voll. Garland leans in toward me, his voice hushed. We already bought a replacement bottle when we were out. We would never take anything from the margin without money. Right, is Tyrion drunk? Oh no, princess. Tipsy. It's like a buzz. Fades a lot quick. Okay. Oh. Garland and I watch Tyrion as she refills her glass at the bar. I have to thank you, princess. I would never have asked her out if you and Karma hadn't insisted on it. So you told her? Garland looks at me with a pleased smile. I'll take that as a yes. She didn't really realize until much later. I just asked her out for food and she thought that's all it was. Maybe Tyrion really did need to be told bluntly what happened. Oh, nine! I told her? And we talked and remembered old times. He sounds like an old man, okay? And I held her hand. I noticed Garland flinch ever so slightly, but he's smiling. He looks pleased with himself. And the night's... Oh! And the night's not over yet, so okay. Okay, chill, Garland, komm runter vom hohen Ross. He trails off with a hopeful smile before he raises his eyebrows at me. What about you and Karma? Oh, direkt so direkt? Direkt so direkt? Reingerutscht bin ich scheiße. Oh no. Schon wieder Streit mit der Freundin, oder was? Hello, bin erstmal am Lurken, also quasi schon die ganze Zeit, aber bin noch nicht dazugekommen, was zu schreiben. Wallowed was man. Wahre Lord. Wie geht's dir? Und guten Morgen. Und ich hoffe, du bist gut ins neue Jahr gerutscht. Frohes Neues. So. Oh. Yoko, vielleicht ist es besser so. Vielleicht ist es besser so. Wenn es die ganze Zeit nur Negatives gab, vielleicht ist es besser so. Du musst auch an dich denken. Und du möchtest ja glücklich sein. What about us? What about us? I've asked him to train me. Train? Princess, you've asked him to teach you how to use a sword? What's this? Our princess is going to pick up a sword? Tyrion returns to the table, but I'm too tired to properly join in the conversation. I should leave them their conversation and head to bed. I need to get some rest if I want to start practicing at night. Ja, frohes Neujahr, auch wenn für mich das Jahr in 365 Tagen vergeht, nicht an einem Abend. Ja, true, stimmt schon. So, so. Mir geht es soweit gut und wenn ich seit 36 mehr schlafen kann und selbst, mir geht es auch gut. Ich habe auch ein bisschen zu wenig geschlafen, aber so an sich geht es mir eigentlich gut. Es tut mir leid, wenn ich jetzt übrigens mit vollem Mund spreche, aber ich lese ja alles vor und ich habe Hunger. Lexi, guten Morgen! Wie geht's dir? Geht's dir besser? Und frohes Neues. Ich hoffe, du konntest trotzdem gut feiern. Und gut reinrutschen ins neue Jahr. So. Mach einfach, ist doch dein Stream. Ja, aber ich finde es... Also, keine Ahnung, ich finde, das gehört so zur Tischetikette, dass man mit vollem Mund nicht redet. Weil, versteht man, was ich meine? Bestimmt, ne? Deswegen sitze ich auch ganz oft so. Weil... Ich weiß nicht. Ich bin doof. I excuse myself to head upstairs. So. Ui. Ui? Was passiert? Was passiert hier? Ach so. Oh Gott. Ich dachte, irgendwas ist passiert. Es war Es war ja Nacht. Es ist Tag. Okay. Man versteht. Sehr gut. Sehr gut. It is momentary, but it is momentary when it... Oh, Mann. When it is over, I'm sitting in my bed, dazed and confused. My eyes burn. My hand flies to the pendant around my neck, where I see the second glass slipper with another piece. Ja! Ja, Mann! Wir haben es geschafft. 2 schon. Wir sind die besten Verkuppler EU-West. Ich wusste gar nicht, dass das dazu zählt. Aber das ist auch wieder so krass, wenn man so... Ich meine, es ist alles nur Klischee dort, aber... Yuko! Danke für dein verschenktes Sub an Lexi für 3 Monate. Ich krieg gleich Schnappatmung. Ich wünsche dir auch ein frohes neues Jahr, liebe Jenke. Oh, mir geht's besser, ja. Wie geht's dir? Mir geht es gut. Ich habe ein bisschen zu wenig geschlafen. Aber ich bin total gut gelaunt. Von daher, oh, Leute, das war meine Hand, okay? Das war meine Hand. Das war hier meine Hand, weil ich so gemacht habe. Ach, ich bin Bayer. Wenn du nach dem Essen nicht rülpst, hat es nicht geschmeckt. Also rein mit dem Futter. Ich mach sowas nicht. Das ist mir peinlich. Ich konnte nicht widerstehen und bitte, oh, Joko, danke. Und Joko, viel Spaß im Lurk. So, jetzt, ja, gut, weiter geht's. So, was kommt jetzt? Warum bist du so... Warum? Warum ist sie dann, als hätte sie Schmerzen? Als wäre sie überrascht? Stimmt, es fehlt jetzt nur noch eine gute Tat. Aber wir sind ja auch schon mit der Hälfte durch, ne? There's another piece. Ja, ja. But when did I do another good deed? Du, meine Liebe, du warst beteiligt am Verkupplungsprozess der beiden. Why you not checking this? Hallo. I grasp the necklace tightly in my hands as I make my way to the tavern. Everyone is doing their pre-morning chores course when I get to the tavern area. I notice Karma glaring off into space and then not far from him the 2 knights. They haven't been up all night, have they? You never know. Du musst fragen, Girl. Du musst fragen. Weiß nicht, was die gemacht haben. Garland war ziemlich deutlich, als er gemeint hat, dass die Nacht ja noch jung ist. I make my way slowly over to them. Even back then you were like some kind of shadow, weren't you? Ich glaube, die haben echt nicht geschlafen. Garland. Ich musste ja an Silvester arbeiten und habe mir dann spontan in der Arbeit eine Heißluftfritteuse gekauft. So muss das. Heißluftfritteusen sind beste. Das sind beste, wirklich. Ich liebe das Ding. Wie kann man nur ohne leben? Ja, ne? Genau so. Wieso bekommt man vom Staat keine zum 16. Geburtstag geschenkt? Ich nenne sie liebvoll Friday, weil er... Nein! Oh mein Gott, darf ich mir das aufschreiben? Das muss ich mir merken. Das ist ja grandios. So. Ich klaue mir den Namen, Brezel. Das ist ein toller Name. Das ist ein wunderbarer Name. Wirklich. So, okay. Garland ist Surprise. So, you don't have to hide it. It was obvious you were tailing me back then. Back when? It was only because I was worried about you. I realized you really didn't have to follow me then. Ach, schon so! Die sind schon auf Spitznamen aus. Vorher hat sie die ganze Zeit Garland gesagt und jetzt sind die schon bei... Die sind schneller, als die Polizei erlaubt hat. Die sind viel schneller. Die Marke heißt ja auch Princess. Ich konnte nicht. Das ist geil. Okay. Also. Okay, so, weiter geht's. But I'm glad you did. Len? Jurian. Oh, shush. Fritz used to call you that too. Oh. Oh. Fritz, da war ja noch was. Den müssen wir auch noch unter die Lupe nehmen. Der ist nicht, also, der ist mir noch ein bisschen suspekt. Das ist übrigens der, für die ganz am Anfang dabei waren, der uns, als wir damit mit dem Spiel gestartet sind, hat er uns bei dem Bild auf dem Weg zum Frühstück abgefangen und kurz mit uns gesprochen. Lan is Garland's childhood nickname. He still gets embarrassed when I call him that. Sylvie! Sylvie! Guten Morgen. Ich muss direkt im Lurk bleiben. Alles klar, mach dich ruhig fertig für die Arbeit. Wie geht's deiner Insel in Animal Crossing? Ich habe gestern Laugistan mal jemanden in einem Stream gezeigt. Sie waren alle sehr verstört. Keine Ahnung, ich war seit dem letzten Mal on-stream nicht mehr drin. Tatsächlich. I see. So, what are you two talking about? Oh, we were just reminiscing. Es beginnt wieder. The Google Action. Reminiscing. Achso, in Erinnerung schwelgen wahrscheinlich. Wir haben nur in Erinnerung geschwelgt. Wie spricht man das aus? Reminiscing. Okay. Also war es doch richtig eigentlich. I look at the two of them critically for a few moments, waiting for them to say something. They both exchange a glance before looking at me confused. Well? Well, what? Darf man euch offiziell entpanen? How did your date go last night? Garland! Warum wird der rot? Ich werde gleich auch rot. Garland makes a sound and turns beet red. Julian's eyebrows quirk and then she laughs. Oh, that. It went well. So well, in fact, that you can see that the two of us are still very much enjoying each other's company. Ich kann nicht mehr. Ich krieg gleich bestimmt voll die Lachfalten. Und jetzt vielen Dank für deinen Follow und herzlich willkommen. Du lässt sie von Unkraut überwuchern, damit es mysteriöser aussieht. Ich verstehe, ja. Julian is usually busy taking her rounds around the margin with a scowl on her face. She looks happier being here with Garland, more relaxed. You might even... Kann man jetzt Happy Birthday to denen singen? Oh mein Gott, das macht mich gerade so happy. Aber das ist safe einfach der... Also, das ist bestimmt einfach nur die Story, aber das macht mich so glücklich. Sound und TZ, guten Morgen, wie geht's dir? Und frohes Neues, hoffentlich bist du gut ins neue Jahr gerutscht und herzlich willkommen im Chat. You might even say that we're dating. Ach, Garland. Arme. Ach nein. 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 Oh, wann hat's angefangen? 10:10 Uhr. Oh, wie viele das sind. Okay. So, 10. Followbots. Yep. So fängt ein Jahr an, ne? So fängt ein Jahr an. Ich war so froh letztes Jahr, dass ich in diesen Juli, August, September, Oktober, November, Dezember, in diesen 6 Monaten. Wir feiern diesen Monat übrigens 6-monatiges. Tatsächlich, schon ein halbes Jahr. Ich war froh, dass ich da nur einmal einen Followbot hatte mit irgendwie, ich glaube, 22 Follows oder so. Oh, es geht weiter. Okay, guck mal. Zack. 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 Wie schnell war ich? Uff, nicht schnell genug. Okay, es tut mir leid für diese Störung. Es tut mir leid. Bitte warten Sie einen kleinen Augenblick. In Kürze wird die Situation wieder in den Griff gebracht. Boah, das sind so viele. Woher? Aber okay, gut. Ja, toll. Mein Ziel darf ich jetzt auch neu machen. Super, danke. Wer auch immer. Danke. Danke. Wirklich. Es tut mir leid, ich muss das gerade hier innen. So, es sind noch 2. Dann kann ich gleich weitermachen. Alter, es hört nicht auf, ne? Es hört nicht auf. Ich hoffe, ich kriege das alles nachher. So, follow but. So, follow age. Watch time. Sieht man das jetzt eigentlich im Chat? Dass die ganzen Nachrichten gelöscht sind? Kommen da noch welche rein? Sieht man? Ah. Muss ich jetzt Stream Elements ein Timeout geben? Oder Sylvie, hast du das schon gemacht? So was Nerviges jetzt. Nee, also da steht nur, dass die gelöscht sind. Sind gelöscht. Ja, die habe ich gerade eben gelöscht. Aber neue kommen nicht rein, weil es läuft immer noch durch, ne? Die Bots kommen immer noch. Seit 3 Minuten trudeln da die ganze Zeit wirklich so rasant runter. Okay, wir machen einfach weiter. So, der Chat ist befreit. Wir machen jetzt einfach weiter. Ich packe jetzt die Maus noch hier nach oben. So. Darlin. So. Isn't it funny how red he gets, Princess? So eine ist das. Oh Mann, miese Sache. Ja. Was soll man tun? Ich muss noch aufschreiben, wer der Letzte war. So. So, Wassermarsch. Ja, okay, ich habe die Alerts jetzt ausgemacht, ne? Wegen dem Dings. Aber ich habe getrunken. Oh Gott, wie viele sind das jetzt bitte? Ich will es nicht wissen. So, isn't it funny how red he gets? Ja, ja. So. You were blushing just as much yesterday when... Haben die geknutscht? Oh! 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 one more word. Then and I swear I'll punch you. Aha. The two of them are both blushing now and the scene is oddly comical. Warte. Oh, sorry. So. Alter. Ich glaube, es gehen gerade Tausende Follows ein. Oh, Mann, das muss ich doch alles nachher wegmachen. Tut mir leid, jetzt aber die Alerts sind aus, weil der Followbot immer noch läuft. So, ich muss aber jetzt gleich was essen und so. Ich wünsche euch einen schönen Tag und so viel Knoppers, wie ihr essen könnt. Hanuta-Riegel sind auch gestattet. Gut, das wollte ich hören. Das wollte ich hören. So. Who knew that the two great knights of the Order of Caldera could be so easily undone? Both of you are amusing to watch. The two of them stared at me, suddenly solemn-faced. I suddenly remember that one conversation the knights all had at the castle. They were talking about how they all had personal reasons for being knights, despite the fact that they all served the king. Schreib danach den Twitch-Support an, die löschen das für dich normalerweise. Ich guck mal, ob ich das auch hinkriege. weil ich weiß nicht, ob ich mehrere auf einmal löschen kann. Wenn nicht, dann schreibe ich den Support an. I had always thought Durian and Garland were stoic and honorable, that their only reason for becoming knights was a sense of justice. Seeing them here, though, without that stoic facade, they feel more like people. My curiosity is piqued. Do you mind if I ask what your reasons were for becoming knights? Oh, my father was a knight. Oh, okay, Durian, okay. He put his life on the line for this kingdom. Durian's father was a living legend in his own right, and he had the medals to back it up. My father wasn't around a lot, but I always admired him. Und Yoko, willkommen zurück. Judging by the look on Durian's face, it is clear to me that she really loves her father. Yeah, my mother died when I was young, and because my father couldn't be around all the time to take care of me, I ended up practically living with Lan and his family. Guck mal, aber die bleibt trotzdem bei Lan. Ich sag jetzt Len. Ich sag Len. Len always got annoyed when I called him my brother. Oh, ja, glaube ich ja. Jetzt ist sogar ein anderer Brudi. Now I know why. Yeah, Durian wanted to follow in her father's footsteps. Sorry. Then why did you join the Knights, Garland? Because he wanted to watch over me. Yep, die löschen das, okay. I never knew you blushed so easily, Garland. Okay, Garland seems to blush even harder at that. And Durian's laughter becomes infectious. I feel amusement begin to bubble up as I watch the two of them. But a cold voice cuts through the laughter and the atmosphere like a hot blade through ice. Karma, was ist passiert? Karma, was ist mit dir passiert? Could you keep it down over there? Sag bloß, deren Zimmer ist über deinem. Oder neben. I turn and see that Cloud's eyes normally... Warte. Okay. Kurz im Lurk was liegen. Alles klar, Doro. Viel Spaß im Lurk. I turn and see that Cloud's eyes, normally so warm, are cold. His usual smile is gone, replaced with a deep scowl. Oh, we're sorry. He's still glaring at the two of them. Oh, I can tell him about the necklace. Sie lächelt! Sie lächelt! Oh mein Gott, ist das das erste Mal, dass sie lächelt? Ist das das erste Mal, dass sie lächelt? So. Okay. Ich kann die Alerts wieder anmachen, oder? Ja. Okay, perfekt. So, Leute, ganz offiziell, Followbot ist endlich rum. I got another piece to my necklace, another good deed. Cloud turns his gaze to me, but the frown doesn't disappear. That's nice, darling. Oh, wenn mich Darling nennt, ne? His voice is calm, but flat and lacks any enthusiasm. That felt lackluster and oddly disappointing. A good deed? Congratulations, Princess, you're close to breaking your curse. What did you get the good deed for? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe it was for helping... Maybe it was for helping Len confess. I hear you and Karma went out of your way to help make it happen. That happened yesterday, though. Maybe the magic was waiting to see what became of Garland and I? Cloud makes a dismissive hand gesture from his table, frowning. If you two insist on being so affectionate, you should get a room. Warum? Warum? Karma, was ist los? Die Musik, warum? Was ist los? Affectionate? Durian's smile has faded away into a dangerous scowl. Where Garland looks confused, Durian looks notably irritated. The shadow is still there on his face. Claude does not look okay at all. Aber der hat kein Recht dazu, seine Laune an anderen auszulassen. Oder sehe ich das falsch? Nee. Also... Gestern... Nee. It doesn't matter if something's bothering him. It isn't like him to be so rude. Ja, ist so. Was ist denn los? Jenny, kann das sein, dass du noch just chatting bist? No way. Yoko, danke. Ah, danke, Yoko. Irritation is no excuse for rudeness. Fine. I apologize. Happy, das war keine richtige... Was ist denn los, Karma? He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twisted into a defiant scowl, but it doesn't hold long. Moments later, his expression softens as he looks away, almost in shame. I'm sorry. Okay, this apology sounds real. But still, why do I feel so disappointed? Was ist los? Ich verstehe nicht. Karma! Silence descends for a few moments before Claude abruptly stands up from his table. Excuse me. Claude turns briskly and heads upstairs, leaving me with the two knights. I wonder what's wrong with him. You think we've been running him too thin because of practice? I do not think it's you too. I get the feeling that Claude holds himself back from saying what he means sometimes. Sometimes he acts strange. Guck mal, ich finde es gut, dass sie langsam auf so ein paar Dinge von sich selbst auskommt. Distant. And recently he's getting more and more moody. Princess? I look over at Anis, who's smiling apologetically. Sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Broom is getting kind of restless. Time to sweep, I suppose. Well, maybe cleaning will help get my mind off of things. Okay. The rest of the day goes by slowly. I'm stuck cleaning most of the day and then serving later. At one point I speak with Delora about the knights that had attempted to kidnap me, and she tells me that she and Parfait are meeting later to discuss their suspicions. I still do not understand what their suspicions are when Sir Alcester cannot possibly know who I am. My hands are sore by the end of the night, but I still feel like I can practice with a sword. I notice that both Durian and Garland look restless too. Garland eventually leaves for patrol, while Durian remains at a table looking deep in thought. I do not want to bother her, so I decide to try and find Claude. Ich muss nochmal, ich futter jetzt gerade so, Achtung. Mhm. Mhm. Hm? 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 I go to his room, but find that the door is locked. Nee, ich kann das so nicht. Es tut mir leid. Karma, are we training tonight? No answer. My heart sinks. Is he not speaking to me? Did I do something wrong? For days, Claude stayed in his room, only leaving when he had to be on patrol. A few times I saw Parfait go into his room, but she refuses to talk about what is bothering him. Ich mache mir Sorgen. Ich mache mir wirklich Sorgen. Ich mache mir wirklich Sorgen. Was ist los mit ihm? I feel so useless. When Claude did appear in the tavern or out in the town, he still had that terrible grimace on his face. Look, I really don't want to talk right now. If you're so frustrated with me, why not just ignore me? Junge, was ist los? Sag es mir doch. Wie kann man so sein, wirklich? No, I'm not going to train tonight. I'm not in the right state of mind. Ja, das merke ich. I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone. Please. Okay. Ich weiß nicht. Ich brauche da Zeit, um irgendwas zu sortieren in seinen Gedanken. I'm really beginning to worry about him. Today I'm in town running errands with Waltz for Parfait. It has been almost a week since Claude started acting so strangely, so I thought I needed to do something for him. I know he likes dresses, and he told me once that he likes roses, but can I really find something that will cheer him up? Perhaps he would like some jewelry. Waltz, do you remember where the jewelry store Karma likes is? I don't go there very often, so unfortunately no. Princess, is this a good deed? What you doing right now? Did you think it would be a good deed? Good deeds need to be selfless, right? Generally, yes. I doubt this will count as selfless. I'm doing this to cheer Karma up. That sounds pretty selfless. But it's also so that he goes back to teaching me how to fight instead of sulking in his room. I've heard that Karma has been teaching you how to use a sword. Why do you want to learn how to fight? Because I want to be able to protect myself, and it's not like I can use magic. At least sword fighting gives me an advantage. I'm sorry, Princess. I wish I could teach you magic, but it doesn't work when you're under a curse. But on your 18th birthday, when you become the Tenebrarum bearer, you'll be able to use magic. I'll instruct you if you want me to. That would be nice. Though that does not solve my current problem. What would cheer Claude up? Walt starts chuckling beside me, and I turn to look at him, confused. Karma is important to you, isn't he? He is. He's my partner, and he has helped me a lot. Fast besser. He has also been patient with me and smiled even when I've said some really inconsiderate things to him. I'm glad, Princess, that he's your friend. My friend? Claude does not feel like a friend. He feels like something else. Oh mein Gott, man erkennt einfach direkt an meinen berührten Lachereien, dass mich das sehr amüsiert. Oh, Princess, is this the one you were searching for? Waltz points to a peddler sporting different kinds of jewelry, and I instantly make my way toward it. There are all kinds of glittering things displayed, and for a few moments I feel myself drawn to everything. Then I notice the price tags. I barely have any money left from when the king gave me that pouch. I cannot afford any of this. Maybe we should do our runs first and then look for a gift. Maybe we'll find something as we look through the stores. But if I don't get Claude's gift today, I may not be able to give it to him tonight. Princess? Naja, es ist immer noch, sie hat immer noch Arbeit zu verrichten, ne? Sie hat immer noch Arbeit zu verrichten und ich meine, die Aufgaben für heute können wahrscheinlich nicht verschoben werden. Aber so gesehen kann man das Geschenk schon. Die kann ja auch noch bis, keine Ahnung, spät in den Abend oder morgens früh oder was auch immer, wann sie frei hat, kann sie ja theoretisch gesehen auch immer noch nach einem Geschenk gucken. Das zögert halt nur ihren Trainingsprozess hinaus, aber trotzdem so. Aufgaben müssen zuerst gemacht werden. Waltz has a good point. We might find something while we do the errands, and then we can get them out of the way. Besides, it is not right for me to put Claude above everyone else. Okay. Anscheinend war das eine richtige Antwort. Yay! We spend a few hours gathering the supplies needed for the tavern, and only then do we start looking again for Claude's gift. Princess, I can hold more of those bags for you. It's fine, I'm used to carrying lots of bags. Ja, dank Karma. Does Karma make you carry them around? Princess, you should really tell him off. He does a lot of other things for me, but next time I think I will. So long as he gets out of his room sometime soon. I really hope he does. Hey, Princess. But now the problem is finding something that he'll like. What does Claude like? Princess! There's no reason for you to shout. Waltz shakes his head at me, but he's smiling. Let me offer you a deal. A deal? If you help me set up one of my puppet shows, I'll pay you. Oh, you earn money from your puppet shows? I get tipped, so what do you say? I won't go easy on you though. Though? Yes, I'll help you. Oh, die ist motiviert. Why do you seem so surprised? I was just thinking that everyone's right. You've really changed, Princess. Maybe having Karma as a partner really was a good idea. Ja klar, habe ich auch rausgesucht. Leute. Niklas, frohes Neues. Wie geht's dir? Bist du gut reingerutscht? Being partners with Claude may have changed me for the better, but I doubt I have done the same for him. You never know. You never know. I'm sure Karma would be very happy that you were buying him a gift. Receiving gifts from admirers isn't the same thing as you getting him something. Okay, ich muss das richtig betonen. He receives gifts from admirers. For a few moments I think about the woman who chased us in town a few weeks ago, and I feel a little unpleasant step in my heart. Small things. A man will treat him to a dessert every so often. I saw a lot of it when we did errands together. Wer sticht in wessen Herz? Nein, eine Erinnerung bzw. eine Info hat ihr, also meinem Charakter, einen Stich in ihr Herz verpasst. I always make Karma accept those gifts without killing the man. Killing the man, it's dramatic but sounds like Karma. True. He punched Rumpel when he asked him to marry him. Joke or not. Karma wears his disguise to be convincing, but then gets angry when people fall for it. He's still very much a child. Ja klar. You know how he is. He doesn't like being flirted with. Waltz, do you know anything else about Karma's curse? His curse? He never really talks about it. Claude may be even more stur, dickköpfig than me if he's not letting anyone help him with his curse. Waltz and I continue our search for a gift. Waltz tells me that I can look for something a bit more expensive and that he'll just put me to work on another day by helping him with his puppets. Yes, yes. I return to the jewelry peddler we found earlier. Hello, madam, sir. What can I help you with today? Do you have any sort of rose-shaped jewelry here? The man refers me to a box full of many different rose-shaped earrings. And then shows me necklaces, and I realized belatedly that it is as if I'm searching for something for Miss Karma, not Claude. My eyes scan the glass, nearly in the feed, before a little rose catches my attention in the back of the display window. It has a chain connected to it, but doesn't seem long enough to be a necklace. What's that one? That's our simple rose pendant, madam. It comes with a chain, but it can also be pinned on the chest. Aww. The man takes it out of the display case so I can look at it. Aww. Mm. This is fancy, but not completely flashy. I feel a little click as I press my fingers to the pendant, and I realize that it can also open. Oh yes, you can also put something small inside of it. This is perfect. Oh, guck mal, sie lächelt schon wieder. Sie lächelt schon wieder. I look at the price tag, and after making sure that it is not too expensive, I pay the shopkeeper. Watts pays him the additional fee, and then we walk back toward the margin together. Ja. Oh, ich muss eigentlich mal hier weiter essen. So. When we return to the margin, I go to my room to tuck the locket into a drawer before I head to the tavern to finish the rest of my course, no? Just as I expected, Claude is not downstairs today either. Julian and Garland have taken to training with each other, though they seem agitated that Claude is not helping them. At the end of the day, I hurry to my room where I write a few words on a piece of paper that I put into the locket. Oh Mann, das ist, als würde man so einen total übersüßen Liebesfilm gucken, ey. Mein Herz. Mein Herz. Eieieiei. Das ist ja Wunderbärchen hier. Wunderbärchen. A normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead. In heartfelt thanks. I hold the locket tightly in my hand and start toward Claude's room. And start to walk towards Claude's room. So. Wir wollen hier ein bisschen richtiger machen, ne? Why is my heart beating so fast? I'm just giving him a gift. Ja, es fühlt sich an wie eine Liebeserklärung, du Honk. Mann! I pause at Claude's door, remembering the last time I entered his room. I'm sure it's okay if I just go in. I open up the door to Claude's room, which is thankfully not locked, and step inside. Claude is sitting motionless in front of his mirror, shoulders slumped as he stares at his reflection. Der Arme, der hat voll die Depression. Was ist los mit ihm? Was ist los mit ihm? He is shirtless. And there's that tattoo. It seems different. Claude does not notice me at first. I notice that his hand goes to the tattoo over his chest, and then I hear him heave a heavy sigh. Slowly, I close the door behind me. It clicks, and that is when he suddenly turns to look at me. At first, there's just shock on his face, and then suddenly anger. Ja, also, was machen wir? Again, why do you do this again, Jenka? Ich habe das Gefühl, irgendwas stimmt mit ihm und seinen Gefühlen nicht. Was ist es bitte? Ich verstehe es nicht. Aber wir können ihm das nicht direkt geben. Wir müssen erst mit ihm reden. Wir müssen erst verstehen, was mit ihm los ist. I came to give him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Why? Because you've been doing everything by yourself lately? You came to complain? No, I wanted to check on you. Ich glaube, das war die richtige Antwort. Ja, Mann. Ich glaube, wir haben in der Vergangenheit sehr viele falsche Antworten gewählt. Ich weiß nicht, ob... Also, ich meine, es gibt in jedem immer ein gutes und ein böses Ende. Ich hoffe, wir kriegen das gute Ende. Princess, can you not read the mood? You could have, at the very least, knocked. Wenn er mich so anstarrt, kann ich nicht. My heart. My heart. Ja, da kriege ich direkt Herzklopfen, ey. Eieiei. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me, his hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. Oh Gott. Möbelrücken! Oh, geht's jetzt Möbelrücken? Möbelrücken! Er ist so weit. Möbelrücken. Wenn es jetzt ins Möbelrücken geht, ne? Ja, yummy. His face is so close, his expression so fierce that I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I can do is stare at him levelly? Without getting angry, without crying. I will not show any weakness. Diggi! Crying is not a weakness, okay? Es ist okay zu heulen. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Jenka that I know would do. Then you do not know me as much as you think you do. And you know nothing about me. Oh mein Gott, was passiert? Was passiert? I already have a retort prepared. I already have a retort prepared. When I stop realizing that he is right, I barely know anything about him. No, I don't, but I like to. Why do you insist on poking your nose into others' business? We're partners. That's the only reason. It has to be. I'm supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Help me? His lips quirk, but his smile is sardonic. Was heißt denn sardonic? Claude, I want to help you. So, sardonic. Sardonisch? Ah, okay. Das ist so ein Äquivalent im Prinzip zu mocking. Also ich weiß jetzt nicht, wie das auf Deutsch heißt. In the silence that descends between us, I find that I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo, at the thorns twirling around the rose. It is beautiful, but it also seems so lethal. When I glance at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering like he might be on the verge of tears. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't, and you bursting into my room without any notice only makes it harder. Harder? For what? Wird das gerade eine Liebeserklärung? Princess, you can't imagine what this all feels like. What is he talking about? Ist so, wovon redest du? Sprich Klartext. Oh, er spricht von jemand anderem. And that woman I thought we were meant to be. She was so lovely. Her smile as bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away. Das tut weh. Das tut weh. That's why never again. But then you ruined everything, Jenka. You've cut me down like... I push my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble back. I cannot take any of this. If I've ruined everything, then I'll just leave. You can have all of the time in the world to yourself then. Oh nein. The locket I bought for him burns in my hand and I end up throwing it at his feet. Ah, so wollte ich das doch gar nicht. Jenka, wait! I ignore him as I run from the room. Jetzt schließt du dich ein, oder was? When I return to my room and lock my door, I feel too hollow inside for tears. It hurts to breathe when I think of Claude. I eventually manage to fall asleep, but only have snatches of restless dreams when my eyes finally close. Whoops. Oh, scheiße. Das, Hallo. So, das war gerade eben ein bisschen zu schnell. Sorry. Das schon wieder. Holt sich Popcorn und genießt die Show. Das ist gerade eine richtige Show, ne? Mother, are you and father in true love? Like oh Gott, das muss ich anders sprechen. Mother, are you and father in true love? Like the fairy tales? I thought I forbid you to speak of fairy tales. Have you been reading them? No, Mother. I overheard someone in the palace talking about them today. Then I shall have to find that person and make sure they know what an appropriate topic of conversation in the palace is. But Mother, the true love in fairy tales sounds so nice. Do you think I can fall in true love with a prince? Dearest one, true love like that does not exist. But the love between a mother and her child is the truest kind. It cannot be replicated by anything else. All other kinds of love is an illusion. My love is all you will ever need. Do you understand me, my heart? Yes, Mother. Ich mag die Mutter nicht. So, I'm so sorry. The Lost Prince. Nice. Hallelujah. Keep your stance straight, princess. Jurian gives me the warning, but too late on purpose. I can see the smile on her face as she effortlessly slides past my defense and taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. I got you. Again. For the last few days I have been practicing with Jurian and Garland because Claude still hasn't come out of his room. The knights offered to train me, and right now they are teaching me about ways to hold a sword. This is slow, but Claude did tell me I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Claude. He made me so angry that one day that I could not even properly give him my gift. Yet I still feel sad that he is not here teaching me himself. Come on, princess, focus. I jolt out of my reverie and nod at Jurian. Okay. Oh, okay. I ready myself for the next strike and once again get tapped, this time on the hip. Garland takes over after Jurian, and then we do rounds where I try to hit them with certain strikes. They are both good at teaching, but it does not feel the same as Claude's instruction. His lessons seemed less like they were out of a book. Don't worry, princess, it always starts out slow. Len was just as slow at training, but look at him now. Garland whips his head around in Jurian's direction, his face turning deep red. Jurian, that nickname. But you're so much fun to tease, Lan. She beams at him and then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before the knights tell me to wrap up for the night. I think I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. Princess, you know it's dangerous out here at night. If I don't return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check on me. Jurian seems unconvinced, but she eventually nods. Fine, but keep your guard up, princess. I watch the two knights as they head back. I see Garland put his arm around Jurians waist, pulling her clothes. Oh. Könnt ihr doch nicht machen. Hallo. Die Prinzessin hat gerade mega Herzschmerz. Das könnt ihr nicht machen. I turn away from the side, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. Ja, siehste. Oh, meine Nase juckt. I just practice the swings for 5 more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while I practice is my shallow breathing and the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however. I see a glimmer of color in the forest and I instantly stop, my hands growing tense on the wooden sword. What was that? I glance around at my surroundings and then I freeze when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I can feel someone's breath on my neck. This obvious familiar is this Claude. Diggi, der kam nicht aus seinem Zimmer. Was tue ich jetzt? Sie kann natürlich jetzt gerade auch komplett alles falsch verstehen und jeden für... Ich fühle mich dabei nicht wohl. Denk an, was du gelernt hast. Denk an, was du gelernt hast. Also ist das, ist er das jetzt doch? I'm pretty sure I recognize Claude's hand, but because I know it's him, I also know what he'd want me to do. I duck away from his hand and turn quickly to point my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck, and for a few stunned moments I think I've won. Even Claude looks surprised. Also war es doch. It's really him. Und wo ist die Rose? But then Claude's hands have moved, and he has one hand over my wrist and the other on my sword. Good, Jenka. You realized you had an opening, but you broke your concentration. Claude removes his hand, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, Jenka. I feel my breath catch in my throat when Claude holds out the rose pendant that I got for him. I feel my cheeks flush. You accidentally left this beautiful... Accidentally? Was für accidentally? Left this beautiful thing in my room when I came to return it. Return it? Yes, you left it in my room, and so I only thought it would be appropriate to bring it back to you. Does he really think I left it there on accident? Why would I leave it in your room on accident? What? I bought it for you, and I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting so strangely, and Claude's eyes widen. The surprise clear on his face. Jenka, you bought this for me? Oh mein Gott, was passiert gerade? Ich kann nicht mehr. Why does he look so shocked? Claude looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes go back down to the locket. He traces a finger around the intricate shape, and his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's to thank you for everything that you've done for me. Jenka, this is beautiful. He lets the chain fall through his fingers, and he stares at the rose pendant with adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns to regard me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward, and my breathing stops as he reaches out to hold up my glass slipper necklace. Huh? He's standing so close to me. You really are a good person, Jenka. You completed your second good deed. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give to you? I look up at him and notice that Claude's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Oh, he still looks so sad. I feel like there's so much that I want from Claude, but I do not want to ask for something that might make him sad. Ich habe das Gefühl, wenn sie sagt, ich möchte, dass du lächelst, dann ist das so, er lächelt gerade bestmöglichst dafür, dass er immer noch so traurig ist. Und sie hat ja auch gesagt, er ist immer noch traurig. Das heißt, er kann ihr nicht aufgrund seiner Gefühlslage nicht geben, was sie möchte. Und das würde ihn teilweise noch bedrückter machen. Ich glaube, I want a hug. Ich möchte, I want a hug. Ich bin Knuddelbär, okay? Ich bin Knuddelbär. Huh? Claude looks at me in surprise. He thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? I shouldn't have said anything. Doch, ich bleib bei der Umarmung. But before I can say anything else, Claude takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. He pulls me towards him, and in those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding in his chest. I can feel his warmth all around me, and his fingers clasp gently at my back. I feel so strange. My heart is racing and my knees feel weak. Ja, Mann. Ja. Something like this. He speaks right into my ear. It is a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly, Claude makes a noise of distress as he steps away from me. All of the warmness that was pressed against me 1 moment ago is gone. Huh? Ihr habt das auch gesehen, oder? Kama suddenly stops, eyes wide. He puts his hand on his chest and takes a step away from me, his fingers clutching at the fabric of his shirt. Claude has a pained expression on his face, only making me more anxious. Bro, Diggi, hat er einen Timer oder sowas? So einen Lebenstimer? So wie das Biest auch? Not now. Claude, are you okay? What's wrong? Majenka, don't worry about it. Ja, genau. Du bist da halb am Verrecken. Ja, kein Problem. Scher dich nicht drum. Na klar, okay. He lowers his hand with the pained smile slowly fading from his face. This does little to reassure me. Was it my fault you were locked in your room for so long? You just look so pained to be anywhere near me. No, most definitely not. I was feeling under the weather. Aha. Wetter fühle ich und so. Alles klar. And also bitter. Bitter? Why would you feel bitter? But it's not for you to worry about, darling. Darling! For now, we should head back. It's late and you need to rest. I just got back from Petra, so I would like to rest as well. Is there anything else I can do for you? No, sweet Jenka, you've already done enough for me. He clutches the rose locket to his chest and sighs out a little with a gentle smile. Smile? With a smile. The smile feels real to me. This is a beautiful gift and I will treasure it always. Thank you, Jenka. Now shall we head back? I nod at him and we silently walk back to the margin. When we make it back to the tavern, I feel tired but also lighter than I have for weeks. Claude wishes me a good night before slowly walking off to his room, holding the rose locket I gave him tightly. Today I'm walking around town to do some errands with Claude. It has been quite a while since we have done this. Though we are here to run errands, there's also something else that drew me into town today. Yesterday, Waltz came back to the margin and told us of an announcement the king was making today. Apparently that announcement had been posted for at least a week's time, but Waltz had only caught onto it after hearing about it from the crowds after one of his puppet shows. Ich muss mal grad was trinken hier. I'm not sure what this announcement entails, but I feel that I need to see the king make it with my own eyes. I can see more people milling about than usual, which means most of them must be waiting for the king to speak. I have a bad feeling about this. It is not strange for the king to make announcements, but this feels so sudden. And with everything else that happened to me, I feel on edge. Yoko! Gott, das hat mich erschreckt. Wenn so die ganze Zeit nichts kommt und auf einmal so BAM! Klappt aber auch jedes Mal. Das ist schrecklich, wirklich. Oh, jeder Witzka. Wow, Jenka, you made these bags sound a lot lighter than they'd actually be. Stop complaining, Miss Karma. You get valuable experience out of carrying bags. Seeing Claude complain. Oh god. Seeing Claude complain is amusing, especially since I know he can handle the load. I feel like a servant. Weil sie hatte immer jetzt die ganzen Tüten, Taschen und sowas selbst tragen lassen. What does that make me when you made me carry all those bags before? An assistant? I roll my eyes at him. We're both working at the margin, you know? And then the thought strikes me. What do you even do at the margin? Claude looks surprised at my question, but then he quickly smiles at me. I train the knights, of course. I also attract customers with my beautiful reputation. Oh Mann, und ich hab's sogar noch vorher gesehen. I start laughing and Claude's face flushes. Darling, I get the feeling you're laughing at me. I wonder. We finish up the rest of our errands and then sit down in the town plaza to rest. Claude leaves briefly and then returns with a slice of cake for both of us to share as a snack. Viel zu laut! Viel zu laut. Dann warte. Ich hab's ein bisschen leiser gemacht. Ich lieb's einfach, dich zu erschrecken, ja. Ich sollte Bits draufpacken. Dann kommen die überhaupt nicht mehr. I have a lot of things I want to ask him and now feels like the right time to do so. May I ask you a question? Of course, darling, anything. Do you enjoy dressing like a woman? I don't mind it, really. I appreciate the beauty in anything. You girls get to wear quite an assortment of lovely dresses and makeup. It's quite beautiful. I feel more comfortable in my own clothes, but I don't mind dresses. I guess if you had to wear a dress for so long, you get used to it. I have another question. And what would that be? When I was in your room the other day, you spoke about a woman. Were you talking about the witch who cursed you? Oh no, the woman I was talking about. He suddenly goes silent, lowers his head. His expression fades into something more melancholy, and I feel my heart lurch. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. To my surprise, Claude continues talking. Shortly after I came to NGL, there was a woman that I met whose smile was radiant as sunshine. She was beautiful, and when she laughed, everything felt right about the world. Hearing him talk about her makes me uncomfortable. Am I jealous? Ja, ja, sowas von. Claude watches me quietly as if he is measuring my expression. Eventually he goes back to speaking. I knew her for many months. Time passed and I thought we were truly in love, and then He goes silent for a few moments, his eyes distant, his expression pained. Well, some things happened and I realized she only loved me because of my curse. She was drawn to me just as any other woman is. Oh, she seemed so genuine in comparison to the other woman, but in the end, Claude trails off and lets out an exasperated sigh.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
You were truly in love with her? I was. I've dated many women, but I've never fallen in love with someone who has honestly loved me back. So then the last person he loved was that one woman. Schade, hat nicht geklappt. Ja, ich sehe es ja vorher. Es hat einen kleinen Delay. Claude looks at me and for a few moments he does not speak. Jenka, do you mind if I ask you a question? No, I don't mind. Have you ever loved anyone? My mother, of course. I was referring to a romantic kind of love. Romantic kind of love? What does that kind of love feel like? Oh my god. Allow me to enlighten you. So, Liebes Einmaleins mit Claude. He smiles at me and it is surprisingly genuine. It can feel simultaneously like floating and sinking. Your heart stutters and you worry about small things, about offending this other person in some way. You wonder if they like what you're wearing, or if they would prefer a sandwich to casserole when you treat them for dinner. You begin to find beauty in all of the things that they do. The presence makes you feel complete in a way you had never thought of before. You try to imagine life without that person and find that you cannot. To even consider such a thing is painful, so much that it feels like it might break your heart. Claude Boah, Mann, Yoko! Das passt doch gar nicht in diesem Kontext. Manu! Aber danke für die 250 Biddies. Boah, mein Leben. Mein Leben, das passt doch gar nicht. Es wird gerade romantisch, Yoko. Claude continues talking, but my mind is already whirling. Though he phrases things in a way that still feels unnecessarily dramatic, I feel a tinge of familiarity. The things he's describing, those are the things I feel when I'm with him. Before I can say anything, we hear the sound of hooves and both of us turn around. Turn. Oder so. Neues Bildabzeichen. I can see a procession of knights along with the king on his horse. He normally rides into town like this, but today he's not smiling and there are way too many knights riding with him. Das ist immer noch ein bisschen viel zu laut. Ach, natürlich. Ich habe das Falsche gemacht. Oh Mann, Leute. So, Leute, ich möchte das Spiel jetzt spielen, okay? Okay. Es wird doch gerade so spannend. Boah, das nervt auch so null, ne? And is that Sir Alcester? Oh, was passiert jetzt? Let us go find a place to stand and watch. As you wish. Claude walks with me into the crowd gathering around the king, and we find a spot to spectate at the very edge, closer to the alleyways. My beloved citizens of NGL, I have come before you today to make an important announcement. Ever since I was given this crown, I have sworn to my life for the people and to rule in all fairness so that our kingdom could enjoy great peace. The crowd breaks into applause. I stare at the king, an uneasy feeling in my stomach when I notice that there is sadness in his eyes, though he is smiling. Then I notice Sir Alcester appears to be hiding a smile. I do not like where this is going. Ich mag es auch nicht. Ich fühle mich ganz unwohl. toll, wollte es klippen, aber geht nicht. Sad. Das ist sad. The king's speech goes on for long minutes after that, with him detailing the commitments he made, the goals he set, and finally his love for the people. The audience around us claps and cheers, but Claude and I are silent. Something is not right. Ja.
Nice!
Freue ich mich. Yoko, danke für 67 Bitties. I nod in response. To this day I keep this promise. I would never break this oath, for it is the foundation on which I rule. The audience claps again, but I'm silent, watching the king intently. Unfortunately, the unwelcome news that I bring to you today gives me reason to hand this foundation over to someone else. Nein! 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 Der König dankt ab. Wohin? Woher kommt das? I have fallen terminally ill. Was? The king's proclamation is met with shocked and angry chattering from the audience. I cannot hear anything that is being said over the cacophony. Was ist das für ein Wortmann of voices? But I know that the audience is dissenting. I stiffen as I stare at the king. He is lying. I can tell by the firm set of his jaw and the way his eyes flicker across the crowd faster than they ought to. The king has lied to me so many times before that I recognize when he does it. I know that the... Oh mein Gott. Mann, Yoko, danke für 100 Bitties. Oh Mann, aber das passt doch gerade gar nicht. Das passt doch gerade gar nicht. I know that this is unfortunate news, but must come as a shock. Was? Also, this unfortunate news must come as a shock, but this is an illness for which there is no current cure. As for the question of my successor, save Sir Alcester. Nee, Soljan, ich kann nicht widerstehen. Ja, aber... He trails off for a few moments, and I think I see something in his eyes that hints at urgency, but I'm not sure why. Crown Princess Emmeline is unmarried and still too young to rule on her own. I feel a pang of irritation and confusion. Another lie. Emmeline could rule just fine with the help of Sir Mithras and the others. Ich muss was trinken. After much thought, I have come to the conclusion that our kingdom, which still continues to face danger from the witches, is best put in the capable hands of the commander of the Order of Kaldira, Sir Alcester. Ey, das ist hier... Drama! What? I cannot hide my shock. The rest of the audience reacts similarly. Their sudden outburst testament to their confusion. Freu ich mich. Yoko, danke für 69 Bitties. While I will be providing support and assistance from the sidelines, I cannot, in all good grace, continue to wear this crown when I know I cannot serve my people as they deserve. Simply put, I believe that the witches have gained more power in the recent months and that Sir Alcester is best suited to deal with these conflicts. The fairy tale curse runs more rampant these days, and there have been more reports of incidents involving magic. The murmuring continues. Expect now the townsfolk sound panicked. This cannot be true. I do not miss the reluctance in the king's next word. Sir Alcester has also suggested a number of remedies to our laws, especially concerning our security and work hours. I believe that Sir Alcester can better rule this country in these turbulent times. Please show him all the love and loyalty you have shown me. Nein, that bastard. Sorry, Leute. Sorry. Ich lese nur vor. Claude has a foul expression on his face and his words feel heavy, even in a low whisper. I know the king. He takes every duty upon himself and he would never hand his crown to someone else. Once Sir Alcester comes to stand on the podium, he silences them with a glare. Citizens of...
Bonjour! 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 Bonjour!
Danke für die 50 Biddies. Citizens of Angel, I swear to you that I will serve you as well as Gennaro has. Kannst du bitte König sagen? König Gennaro? Er ist immer noch König, okay? Oh, dieser Alcester, der regt mich so auf. That being said, I also believe some changes will need to be made. So Alcester continues to speak. He mentions things like curfews for safety, extended work hours, and additional taxes to go toward the knights. But I am slowly beginning to block out the drone of his voice. What is going on? Sir, no, Alcester must have done something to force the king into this charade. Ja klar, merkt man doch. The king stands behind Alcester with his hands clasped, his eyes alert, but there is a helplessness to them that I have never seen before. It isn't long before the crowd's unsettled murmuring becomes agitated whispering. I'm stunned when Claude cups his hand to his mouth and starts shouting. Huh? There's only one king, King Gennaro! Yeah! Claude, yeah! Claude grips my hand and starts leading me around the outskirts so that people cannot spot him as he continues his shout. The crowd begins to chant along with Claude, and then they draw nearer to the stage where my father and Alcester are standing. There's only one king, King Gennaro, yes! Genauso. Effekt mit Alcester ist so. There's only one king, King Gennaro. Okay, let's go, Jinka. The crowd is right next to the platform now, and the chant carries on. Claude pulls me behind him, but my mind is on my father and on his desperate eyes. Hours later, the Marchant's Tavern is chaotic. People are talking over each other, trying to relay the scene that they saw in town today. Every visitor here is talking about what they witnessed. I have been in a corner of the room this entire time, trying to understand everyone, but failing. Delora and Parfait are not here to calm all of this chaos. Hey Princess, how are you feeling? Rumpel! Lange nichts mehr von dir gehört. I almost jumped when I heard Rumpel's voice. Surprised? I can feel when a damsel is in distress, milady. I'm really not in the mood for you flirting, Rumpel. Oh, my apologies. I thought you might have wanted some cheering up. Where's your partner? He went out to town to survey the situation. Kama doesn't do anything around the tavern, but he does a whole lot for you, doesn't he? Diese Musik, ne? I suppose that the least a man in love... I suppose that's the... Ich kann das nicht aussprechen. I suppose that's the least a man in love can do. O2 can do. Sorry. Was? I feel myself blush. What is Rumpel going on about? Princess, you're pink. I'm not. My mind feels all scrambled now. This is all Rumpel's fault. Thankfully, before Rumpel can continue talking, the door opens and Delora walks inside to call all the Marchant boarders into the reception room. When I step into the reception room, I'm surprised to see two familiar figures standing beside Parfait, Emmeline and Rod. Both of them look downtrodden and discouraged. Everyone is noticeably shocked as they step in. The prince and the princess? Where did they come from? What is happening at the palace? What of Queen Ophelia? We need silence in the room, everyone. Delora raises her voice, effectively causing everyone to pause. She glances at Parfait, who nods and then turns to look at Rod and Emmeline. Princess Emmeline, if you would tell everyone what you told Delora and I. The room is unnaturally quiet as Emmeline begins her story. She starts with the events of 1 week ago. In the middle of a family dinner, Alcester burst in with soldiers and seized her? Rod and Ophelia in front of the king. Sir Alcester said that if the king didn't hand over his crown, he would kill us. We had no idea a coup would be staged. The three of them were taken down to the prison cells, with Ophelia taken to a separate cell. Sir Fitzgerald helped us escape, but only just barely. Fritz, are you openly disobeying your father? I hope that he is safe. Ich traue dem trotzdem nicht. Alcester wanted to kill the king. I'm sure that he still will. But he has no reason to. The king has already handed over his crown. I speak before even realizing. Everyone stares at me, including Rod and Emmeline. Alcester is a foul man. I only think he's usurped the throne now without violence because he wants less resistance from the people. He never spoke up to my father before. Did you just say father? It's a long story, Em. Emmeline looks between Rod and I, her expression confused. You know each other? We do. Emmeline looks like she wants to say something, but she remains silent. Our mother is still inside the palace. We need to save her somehow and serve Fitzgerald. What happened to Fritz? We don't know. He helped us escape, but we were spotted at the last minute. He told us to run ahead and leave him behind. We didn't see him again after that, and we couldn't just wait, so Rod brought me here. Right now we need to piece together the situation as quickly as we can, and then we need to figure out a way to save the king. I knew Alcester was up to something, but I never thought it would escalate into this. Jurian, what do you know about this? Garland and I weren't stripped of our titles because we disobeyed Alcester's orders. It was because we overheard Alcester plotting something and tried to tell the king of this plot. We gave him a warning, but the king did not believe us, not with Alcester and Mithras whispering in his ears. The king didn't think Alcester was possible of such a betrayal. He thought he were trying to turn him against Alcester for our own gain. And so Alcester stripped us of our titles and banished us from the palace. Lady Parfait found us, and while we were happy to help out at the tavern, we also intended to eventually do something about the mess in the palace. So Alcester has been planning to do this all this time? When we part for the night, Parfait and Delora take Rod and Emmeline to a room that they can share. It has been decided that they will be harbored here at the Marchen, a place that Emmeline apparently knew about but never came to because she wasn't cursed. Well, Rod did say that his family knew he was cursed. I noticed Emmeline looking at me many times throughout the night, but she never asked me anything. The next few days are a muddled mess. Everyone is busy trying to find out what happened and what can be done to help the king. I'm sweeping the tavern half-heartedly one day, my thoughts on everything but my course. Everyone's been trying to do something to help out the last few days. Though I've gone on quite a few trips into town with Claude to search for information, I haven't been able to find much. I feel so useless. I'm finally on my break, so I decide to go into the reception room to rest. When I step inside, I notice Emmeline sitting on the couch. She waves me over as soon as she sees me. She hasn't really openly spoken to me since she has been here. Parfait and Laura have been trying to hide her, so as not to cause a ruckus in the margin. Rumors are dangerous now. You're Jenka, right? Yeah. Oh, yes? Rod told me about your curse. He said you're the king's blood daughter. I'm really sorry. I'm shocked by Emmeline's sudden outburst. What? I didn't mean to, but I took your place. How could I forget my own sister? We're not blood related. That doesn't matter. I would love you regardless. Emmeline was always trying to take me out and do things with me back when I was still in the palace. I distanced myself from her because I thought the king loved her more than he loved me. I still think that maybe he does. We weren't close. I barely spoke to you or to Rod. Didn't he tell you that? He did. But perhaps now we can turn over a new leaf? Emmeline is stubborn as always. I have more things to worry about than being her friend. I have to go. I walk off before the conversation can continue. Oh, die Arme. If I hadn't been cursed and remained in the palace, would Sir Alcester have taken me hostage too? Du, ja, keine Ahnung. The hours tick by, and as the tavern is emptied for the day, Delora calls everyone together to explain what she and Parfait have pieced together about the situation. All right, everyone. Everyone. We've come upon some new information. The first is that Alcester has cracked down on the riots in town. Anyone seen protesting his rule is thrown in prison. The king always valued the people's opinions. Alcester does not want opinions. He only wants to rule with an iron fist. Our patrols have shown that there is overall more security in the palace and around the town. They have been charged with keeping people quiet in whatever ways they possibly can. As we heard from the prince and princess, things are most turbulent in the palace. The king is still alive, but it is unlikely he will stay that way for very long. One thing is clear, given Alcester's motives to take over the kingdom, I doubt he will rest until the king is dead. The king's men have turned against him, and even if there are loyal soldiers still left in the palace, we cannot contact them right now. Oh, rescuing the king and queen will be on us then. Ich mag, was da gerade passiert. Das nimmt alles ein sehr actionreiches Muster an. We just so happen to have people in this tavern that have a shot at rescuing them. Prince Rod has the key to a secret passage we can use to break into the palace. Secret passage? Secret passageway? But only the king and the commander of the knights have the key to that passage. So how did they get a copy? Who's going to join us on this mission? Jurian and Garland both volunteer immediately, followed shortly by Claude and Waltz. I'll go too. The room goes quiet as I step forward and volunteer. Princess, we can't just allow you to put yourself in danger. I look at Claude, who's staring at me, shocked. I took up the sword so I could protect those I care about. Princess, you don't have nearly enough practice. But I can help. I still have time to learn. I agree with Parfait, Princess. The palace isn't the place for you to try out your newfound sword skills. Then you may as well chain me up because I refuse to stay here while you all go save the king. Princess. Well, she has been practicing with the rest of us. Don't encourage her, Jurian. But it's not like any of us can stop her anyway. True. You're right, the princess is quite stubborn. Claude agrees with Jurian, but I can tell that he does not like the idea of me going along with them. Ich hab Angst. If only we had the time to get reinforcements from Karma's country. Karma's country? Brigantia. How is it possible that Brigantian citizen can simply ask for reinforcements. Ah, jetzt wird es doch gedroppt. Karma is the crown prince of Brigantia. There is some shuffling in the room as everyone turns to gawk at Claude. Rumpel, Ennis, Rod, and Emmeline all looked shocked by this revelation. You're the Lost Prince? Lost Prince. It sounds like such a tragedy, doesn't it? Ennis suddenly looks distressed as she fiddles her thumbs. All this time, and I never knew. I'm sorry, Your Highness. Oh, there's no need for formalities, Ennis. Wieder direkt lächelt, ey. But I'm the Lost Prince after all. I keep my lineage a secret because right now I'm just a normal commoner. But you're the prince. Couldn't you still ask for reinforcements? Even if I did ask for reinforcements, I'm pretty sure they would never come in time. Besides, I can't go back to my kingdom yet. He cannot go back while he's still cursed. The conversation continues in a more solemn tone. Eventually, we start speaking of our plan to enter the palace. When the details are finalized, I repeat everything myself to make certain that I know what is meant to happen. Words will lead us to the palace then, and Julian Garland will follow right behind him, watching for the most immediate enemies. Leave it to us. We will deal with any resistance before it touches you, princess. And Karma will be watching from the back, along with Delora. A witch and a prince for backup. Delora smiles wryly. Claude rolls his shoulders. I'd like to think of us as more the closing act. Though if all goes according to plan, we will have no need for either the opening or closing act. It is a small task force, which is better. The smaller the better. The last thing we want is to be noticed. We decide to meet again over the Kurs, of the next week to finalize our plan and carefully survey the situation in town before parting. Claude has taken to training me. Julian and Garland at the same... Claude has taken to training me, Julian and Garland at the same time zone. Just the other day he had all of us attack him together. Even though I am nowhere near as good as a trained knight, I still managed to hit him once. Oh. I feel like things are coming to some sort of conclusion, and yet I still haven't done 3 good deeds. Today we finalized our plans for getting into the palace. We have mapped out where the king and Ophelia must be in the prisons, where the guards might be positioned, and how we plan on sneaking in. Und fieser Rentner, guten Morgen, frohes Neues, wie geht's dir? Ich hoffe, du bist gut ins neue Jahr gekommen. I sit down on my bed and am about to lay down when I hear something. Klopfen! Klopfen, Junge! Klar, du musst klopfen. Es ist immer noch ein Frauenzimmer, okay? Hello, love. Gott. Hab's verschlafen, man wird auch nicht jünger. Ja gut, passiert. Warum nicht? Letztes Silvester habe ich auch verschlafen. Ja, jetzt nicht das, was war, sondern das davor. Why, you're red. Were you thinking about me? I noticed that he has one hand on his chest tonight, but then he has been doing that more often lately. I notice it during practices and sometimes when I catch his eyes. Is he sick? Darling? I shake myself at the sound of Claude's voice. What if I was changing? You could have knocked. Well, you didn't seem to have a problem when you walked in on me changing without announcing yourself. That's different. He strolls inside and steps closer to me. He smiles at me mischievously. Oh, how so? Cat got your tongue? Oft ist Schlafen noch die beste Alternative, um den gesellschaftlichen Schwachsinn zu entgehen. Ja, kann man auch so sehen. Claude shakes his head, smiling softening. I really didn't mean to come in to disturb you. I just have something important I needed to say to you. Claude kneels in front of me and furrows his eyebrows. I want to insist you reconsider going to the palace with us. As Parfait and Allura have said many times, it will be dangerous. Oh, der macht sich so Sorgen. Oh. Nothing you say is going to change my mind. I want to do what I can to help everyone. Yes, and that terrifies me. Terrifies you? If your stubbornness leads to you putting your neck out there for someone, I would never forgive myself for your injuries. If you want to help me stay here where you'll be safe. I'm not some damsel that needs to be protected. Jenka, all I want is for you to stay safe so that when we save your father, you can face him with a smile. I won't be able to face my father unless I'm one of the people who save him. Stubborn as always. I sigh, irritation welling up in my stomach at the look on Claude's face. He's calling me stubborn, but he's being stubborn about this. You said I've improved with my sword fighting. You have. You improved so much because of your resilience and drive and because you're genuinely interested. It's because I have a good teacher. Ho ho, your compliment is gentle music to my ears. Your compliments mean a lot to me, Jenka. My eyes fixate on his soft smile and at the gentle crinkles at his eyes. Our eyes lock, and for a few moments I am aware of a slight energy between us. I glance away hurriedly, not entirely sure of what would happen if I kept staring at him. Okay. My heart beats unsteadily in my chest. Earlier today I comforted your sister when she started crying about the things that had happened in the palace. Emmeline? Why would he comfort her? I saw her crying downstairs in the reception room earlier today without anyone there. She's a rather sweet girl. Willst du mich eifersüchtig machen, Claude? Sag mal. I keep thinking that the two of you are completely different. You're both strong-willed and stubborn, but she wears her emotions on her sleeves while you keep it all inside. I'm not hiding anything, if that's what you're implying. Mother always told me crying was weak. Nein, ist es nicht. Claude stands up and leans forward. Before I know it, I'm in his arms. Jenka, I'm always here for you. I feel flustered again and my mind feels foggy. I can barely comprehend what's in my mind or in my heart. Ich habe mir zu Weihnachten im Anflug von Wahnsinn ein Rode-Mikrofon gekauft. Das war wahrscheinlich teuer. Oh Mann! Sollen wir mal auf Nummer Hardcore gehen und einfach sagen so, ja, danke und vielleicht Emotionen zulassen? Ich meine, das wäre so ein rapider Schritt in Richtung Besserung, aber trotzdem wird sie mitgehen. So, danke, danke, dass du da bist. Niemand war für sie da. You never need to thank me, Jenka, but you've done so much for me. It is not just the sword fighting, it is your patience, your company. You're saving me when I needed help. That's not true. I'm pretty sure I'm the most selfish person in this tavern. All I ever want is things for myself. Oh, das war richtig. Oh mein Gott, ich weiß schon, wie ich denken muss. So, ich muss in 5 Minuten in die Arbeit gehen, geh Weg bergauf und habe mir eben ein so riesiges Frühstück reingezogen, dass mein Bauch sich anfühlt wie ein Stein. Ich bin so dumm, aber es war sehr lecker. Ja, guck mal, nice. Dann wünsche ich dir auf jeden Fall einen guten Arbeitstag. Lass dich nicht stressen und genieß noch die letzten 5 Minuten. Man kann auch Emotionen als Waffe benutzen, richtig. Ey. Oh, I'm sorry. Ich habe das Mikrofon vollgeschlagen. I never thought you were selfish, Claude. He puts a hand to my cheek and looks at me solemnly. You don't think that me wanting you is... Suddenly he steps back, his hand on his chest again, his breathing heavy. I stare at Claude with wide eyes. Dank, hoffe, dass der Tag früher rumgeht und ich schnell wieder zu Hause sein kann. Ja, auf jeden Fall, hoffe ich auch. Claude, are you okay? I'm fine. He sighs out slowly, but he sounds obviously pained. I'll go get Ennis. No! Okay! I'm fine. I swear it, it's just a spell of dizziness. But he manages a small, tight-lipped smile before he straightens and shakes his head. His hands are visibly shaking. I must be tired. But Claude, do not tell anyone about this, okay? I don't want them to worry. Why is he always so stubborn? He obviously is in pain. So, meine Güte, I clench my hands into fists as I frown at him. Why must you always be so secretive? Geht ziemlich rot. Braucht es einen Puster? Ich habe eine Fliege wegmachen wollen und dann habe ich halt mit meinem Arm hier unten das ganze Mikrofon mitgenommen. You're keeping something from me, Claude. I'm sorry, Jenka. Claude abruptly leaves the room, leaving me with my fragmented thoughts. Und damit ist Cut. Auch wenn ich nicht cutten möchte, aber damit ist Cut. So, erstmal hier.